All right, guys, welcome back. Just as I finished doing the other video, I reloaded the organization Twitter page, and we got more cards. So we have favorite hero, Shining Flare Wingman. Same stats, one future monster plus one face of monster on the field. So literally, you just use your opponents, just contact fuse. Uh, I'm pretty sure you just do this with Super Poly because it doesn't say you can do that. You go and use the first effect of this card's name once returned. This card is special summon from the extra deck. Shuffle 5 monsters from your graveyard into the deck. Draw 2, and if you do, this card gains 1,000 attack. Pretty good for heroes since they go through like a majority of their deck just turn 1 if you don't stop them. So they just get all the recursion back, get their malicious back, make them keep going. They get 2 cards. This is a 3,500 beat stick. This card destroys a monster by battle. Burn your opponent equal to that monster's original attack. Solid. Number 39, Utopia, the Envoy of Light. Rank 4, 2 level 4s, just basic Utopia. Cannot be destroyed by battle except by... This is the first time I think a number monster has had this stipulation from the anime where number monsters can only die by other number monsters. So that's pretty cool. This should have been the thing like for all numbers, but then there might have been some problems with like future number cards being way too strong. Either way, quick effect: detach one material from this card. Target one monster you control. The first time it would be destroyed by battle or card effect this turn is not destroyed. This card can make a second attack of this. When the second attack of this turn is declared, you can make this card gain 2,500 attack, and if you do, it gains this effect. When this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, destroys a monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, special summon to your field. So you swing with one thing, you swing with this as your second attack, make it 5k, and then it just has a Goyle Guardian effect. Pretty cool. Decode Talker integration. Same stat lines as OG Decode Talker. When this card is in the extra monster zone, this card in the extra monster zone gains 500 attack for every other link monster on the field and in the graveyards. Also, your opponent cannot target it with card effects. That's a big boy in Malice. Quick effect, you contribute one monster this card points to. Send one Cyberse monster from your extra deck to the graveyard. Also, this card can make up to 2 attacks on monsters during each battle phase of this turn. And I'm pretty sure people will think like, oh, I can tribute your monster because it points to it. I don't think it's gonna work that way. I have to find the old rule into the old Decode Talker because it pretty much had the same line of text, just tribute something it points to. Second effect is whatever. It's this first effect that's pretty good just for like link climbing. And then we have Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon, the 4 Heavenly Dragons. Of the 4 Heavenly Dragons. Scale 4, level 7 Dark. You can only use the pendulum effect of this card's name once per turn. During your main phase, you can destroy this card, and if you do, add one pendulum monster with 1,500 or less attack from your deck to your hand. Also, for the rest of this turn, unless you pendulum summon after this card resolves, you cannot activate monster effects on the field. Interesting. This pretty much just searches you every good pendulum monster that there is. And there's a lot of really good pendulums. Pendulum was not going to get into it, but it was a mistake. You just find your other scale, pendulum summon, and you're off to the fucking races. Monster effect. You can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. If this card is pendulum summoned, it gains these effects. Gains attack equal to the difference between the pendulum scales of the 2 cards in your pendulum zones times 300. Any battle damage your opponent takes from battles involving this card is doubled, so just the OG one, the OG effect. If this card in the monster zone is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can add it to your hand. Then if it was destroyed by your opponent, you can special summon it. That's pretty good. I don't play pendulums, but maybe you can do something with like Pepe. Unfortunately, you can't play this in Genesis because pendulums and links are banned, so you don't get to play with the Odd Eyes. You don't get to play with the Deco Talker, but you still have the Utopia and the Flare Wingman. And this is the other set. We have Cyber End Dragon, the Decisive Strike Dragon. 3 machine monsters with 2100 or more attack must be fusion summoned. You can only use the first effect of this card's name once per turn. If you control this card fusion summon using only light monsters, pay 4,000 life points. It doesn't say half specifically because that's too easy. Just so pay 4,000 life points. Add 1 limiter removal from your deck to your hand. Finally, a way to search limiter removal. If this card attacks a defense monster, inflict piercing. So just 8,000 piercing to something that's a 0. Game. This card, whose current attack is higher than its original attack, can make a second and third attack during each battle phase. They pretty much just turned this into the anime card. So just go get limit removal. It does the piercing, and it can attack 3 times, 1 for each head. Pretty cool. Who knows if it'll actually get played, but so far most of these cards seem kind of niche, but they're getting this overframe treatment because they want you to play them, to make you feel like this is an anime card, you know? Neo Galaxy Ice Photon Dragon, Photon Howling. 3 level 8 monsters, but just like every other Photon Exceeds monster, once per turn you can also Exceed summon this card by using 1 rank 8 Exceeds monster you control and just put the materials on it. If this card is Exceed summoned, you can take 1 Photon monster from your deck and either special summon in defense or attach it to this card as material. That's disgusting. Because there's some pretty good cards that just buff up your I don't think that'll work with most of them because it says you have to Exceed summon with them, so just throwing it on as a material, I don't think it'll work, but there might be some. Pretty good effect. Quick effect, you can detach 3 materials from this card, tribute 1 other Exceeds monster, and if you do, negate the effects of all of the face-up cards currently on the field until the end of this turn. Yeah, that's anime as hell. I dig it. Starving Venom Fusion Dragon of the 4 Heavenly Dragons. So I'm pretty sure we're going to get a Clearwing Synchro Dragon and then like whatever other Xyz dragons there are. Because we have the Pendulum, we still need like a Crystal Wing. We need the Xyz. Yeah, Pendulum, Fusion, Synchro, Xyz, and... No, that's everything. That's 4. What am I talking about? 2 dark monsters on the field is just a super poly target, man. That's pretty easy. This card is always treated as a Predaplant monster. Use the first and second effect of this card's name once per turn. If this card is fusion summoned, target 1 other face-up monster on the field. Change its attack to 0. Negate its effects. Also, its attribute becomes dark. That's a really solid effect. When your opponent activates a card or effect, quick effect, fusion summon 1 dark fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters on the field, using dark monsters on the field, including this card. Yeah, that's just a super poly target with a super poly effect, and it gives you the dark monster on your opponent's field just to get rid of it after you negate its effects because it turns it into dark. That's pretty good. And then we have Borreload Liberator Dragon. I thought this was like a Boral End or a Boral Sword, but it's just a Boral Dragon. Oh, it's just Borreload Dragon. What am I talking about? 3+ effect monsters. You can only special summon this card once per turn. Why would you need another one? Once per turn during the battle phase, quick effect, you can place 1 monster your opponent controls in a zone this card points to. And you can place 1 monster your opponent controls in a zone this card points to and take control of it. I mean, you're pretty much already taking control of it if you're putting it in a zone. Kind of redundant card text. It should just say, once per turn during the battle phase, take control of a monster your opponent couldn't... whatever. Pedantics. Your opponent cannot activate cards or effects in response to this effect's activation. Once per chain, if this card is in your graveyard, quick effect, you can target one monster you control, destroy it, and if you do, special summon this card. That's pretty good. Yeah, once per chain, just pop a monster you have, special summon this, especially during the battle phase, and then take an opponent's monster. This is a really good card compared to the OG Warlord Dragon, but these new cards are pretty much like the Overframe treatments are basically like game ender cards from what I'm getting. Like this is definitely a game ender. This is definitely like some solid interruption. This straight up a game ender if you're playing a Galaxy Eyes Photon deck. But do they need more of it? Probably. Just because, like, negating absolutely everything on the field, that's just a plus. This is definitely just going full anime weeaboo. I'm going to do the thing, and we're going to have a good time, except for you. So, if there's more cards that come out after I upload this, I'm just going to make another video. So, leave a like, do all the things. I'll see you later.